Oh, hello. You got to stop sneaking up on me like that. Man, I wasn't expecting that. Hello. Well, since you're here, I suppose you might as well have a bit of a look around the office and studio, I guess. Really, ever since I did the shed tour, people have been saying, "Can we see your set and where it is you work all day?" And I suppose actually I did do something like that way back, like back in the first Archaeosoup Towers. I showed you the bookcase behind me, where I used to sit on the floor and do videos. But obviously things have moved on since then. And here we are in the current Archaeosoup Towers. I'm very happy actually in this little office. And I suppose since you're here, you might as well have a bit of a nose, I guess. Well, I'll just grab the camera. Hang on. Okay. Better just get rid of that. Yeah, that's a private plan. Anyway, this is my laptop and computer. You'll notice that the desktop is a very funky picture. This desktop is actually the Natural History Museum in London, in like a sort of a potential future where it's all kind of decayed and falling apart. The first time I saw this painting, I loved it. It's basically an archaeological piece of artwork. The inevitable fate, possibly, of some of these great buildings down in London. So that's my desktop. I have actually recently upgraded the computer to Windows 10, which I'm very much enjoying. And this is basically how I organise myself on my computer. Various office applications. GIMP, very important for doing image work and also special effects. Paint, actually invaluable, oddly enough. I really love using Paint. And crucially, my file of editing software here, easy access. FreeMake is a wonderful open source group of programs. Audio converter, video downloader as well, if you want to retrieve something from the Archaeosoup YouTube channel, etc. Very, very useful. Audacity, Cyberlink Power Director, all good stuff. So that's basically what I use for producing Archaeosoup videos. And obviously I'll be using that to edit today. What else do I have on my desk? I have microphone hooked up to my laptop, and this microphone has my very own high-tech pop filter here. It's a pair of tights and a sewing frame, a cross-stitch frame, but it works well. And this is a Samsung Go mic. It's a very, very good microphone. It's got a wonderful cardioid setting and plugs in via USB to the laptop. And that's what I use for all my voiceover work. On the desk, or on the wall, so behind the desk, you'll notice all this sort of stuff that's sort of motivational. I actually saw Bill Murray here in a primary school on the wall, and I thought, if only we could all have Bill Murray saying "you're awesome" on the wall. And I thought, well, why not? So I printed it out. I found it, printed it out, and there it is. A thank you card. I occasionally get thank you cards from people I work with, and this one was one of the first, so I put it on the wall there. And actually yesterday, this really funny situation occurred where I was out walking the dog, and this bunch of kids came up to me, this couple of boys, and they said, "Oh, you're Mr. Mark, Mark, Mr. Soup, you're that guy who came into school and talked about archaeology, right?" So yes, that was me. Yes, that was me. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it was amazing. That was really, you talked about all this really cool stuff. I want to be an archaeologist when I grow up, says one of them, and I go, cool. I'm feeling really, as I've inspired someone. And then after a couple of minutes, he goes, "So what does archaeologists do?" And I sort of said, well, we look for evidence of human life in the past using the stuff that they've left behind. We kind of go through ancient rubbish, human remains, this kind of thing. And he goes, "Oh, no, architect. I wanted to be an architect. That's what Mum said. Mum reckons there's more money in it." And I was like, yeah, no, you're right, kid. Okay, fair enough. Off you go on, keep on playing. So yeah, that was they aren't often thankful, but sometimes they realise that archaeology isn't necessarily the best paid career. A wonderful card from Mrs. Soup there, just to make me smile, and also a time when Mrs. Soup and I played crazy golf, and Mrs. won, I have to say, by 4 points. So just like a motivational, happy wall behind the computer there on the wall there. This is basically the rest of my desk. Jelly baby. There's a jelly bean, smiley jelly beans on the wall here. Again, makes me smile. Various bits and bobs. Snowy, because I love Tintin up on the top there. Tiny little koala. This koala actually is the same size I was when I was born. I was born very premature, and this wristband was actually around my waist. So this teddy ended up wearing it, and sort of reminds me of how tiny I was, smaller than my hand when I was born. Sheep, because I'm from Wales and I like sheep. Deal with it. Various computer games, fun stuff, squishy, blob of plasticine to play with. This I actually do in fact use for sound effects. It's a Monty Python horse, which is great fun. Headphones, various games and things, and this is where I keep useful items. So Leatherman, scissors, magnifying glass, and also a bottle opener with a little Viking from my time at the Jorvik Viking Centre and the Archaeological Trust. Here's a watch that Reese gave me when he was on his travels to Britain from Australia, so I have it hung on my desk there to keep track of the time, although obviously the computer has the time on it, but I like looking at that too. Second screen, extremely useful when I'm filming, and also actually when I'm editing, and also actually when I'm filming interviews with various people. And for that I do in fact have the second webcam, because for a long time I would film somewhere over there, the interviews, and people would be looking out of this camera here at nothing. So I have a second webcam so people can actually see me when I'm interviewing them. Isn't that useful? Isn't that useful? External hard drive, obviously sound system there. Like pens, things, a decanter, little wine decanter, and also a slightly audacious feather pen, because, well, we all need that in our lives. The big difference between this Archaeosoup Towers and former ones is how I've actually organised the space. So these drawers here actually contain crucial things like chargers. There's a DS game at the back for some reason. Alternative keyboards, mini tripods, and then in the bottom here I have a blackout blind and some other bits and bobs which are useful for filming. The head Mrs. got me for Christmas, and in there I keep all sorts of bits and bobs. In fact, I'll just see if I can open it. Come on. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. But again, it's out of the way, it's nice and neat. Have a Batman horse and a very special teddy in the back there. But in addition to these things here, I have this plastic cube, this Perspex cube, where I keep everything else nice and neat for filming. So laptop case, camera bag, shotgun mic, and also lapel mic, which I used recently at the Bradford Canes. One tripod, plus the tripod that this camera was just sitting on, so two tripods. A third tripod, which I think is beautiful, this sort of cast iron retro looking thing, which I sometimes use to hold the microphone when I need it away from the camera. And one of my lights, my other light is upstairs, along with green screen, this kind of thing, that's all stored away somewhere else. But the light I use in studio is here, and that's all nice and neat in a Perspex tub. There I have a lightsaber trowel. It was an experimental item. I did make a Luke Skywalker one, but I gave that to Bethany. This is my Darth Vader one. I like it. And then down here I keep all sorts of different things. Primarily though, current archaeology magazines. Current archaeology, and then some random geekery over here, including Watchmen, Doctor Who, Castle's book, which is a beautiful piece of artwork actually, or a collection of artwork about castles and reflections about castles, and also Mr. Bean's diary, which is terrifying. The older you get, the more scary that book becomes. Down here we have foam cricket bats made to be machetes, Mayan swords, Indiana Bones' blunderbuss, and also the Viking sword, which is for workshops, and was mine when I was at the Archaeological Trust. And here we have all of my books. So a range of books and a range of different age groups covered by them. They're all useful in one way or another. some of them for imagery, some of them for inspiration, some of them for raw academic research. But it's a growing collection of books, but also a curated one, in so much as I don't keep books which are either doubled up in terms of topic or that I no longer require. But they've all served me very, very well, both in uni and since making Archaeosoup videos. So these are some of my archaeological books. And then, oh, this, hang on. This book here is quite cool. It's kind of like a Haynes manual for digging. I picked it up because I really like the pictures in it. Great book, really good fun. Okay, so here we have the bookcase behind me when I'm filming on the set. And let's move this over here. There we go. Tutankhamun from all the way from Egypt. There we go. And then we have the set, as you see often on videos. So a range of things. You've seen this stuff in various places before, various ways. I've taken photos of it and shared it on videos in the past. But again, it's ever growing. Recently, I got this because I love this. Hang on. You might not be able to hear that, but it's a poppy seed pod, and the seeds rattle when you rattle it. And there's the background to the set, which again you've seen before. Here I do have a light switched on, so I'll try not to blind you, and obviously Spider-Man on a canvas. Down we go. So the set spills off to the right, and down here we have one of my pride and joys, and that is my very own R2D2 office bin, which I did make myself. I'm very, very proud of this. Yeah, love it. Okay, so I'll just turn the light back on. Ah! Now, back over here, so this is just to give you a view of where I sit, the office. Here's my wall planner, just above the bits and bobs there. My week is usually planned out on there, and there is, you've seen this guy before, that was the first skeleton I ever dug. I showed you that many years ago, actually. And there's some archaeological drawing which I did in university. And my inebriated waffly nonsense award. Yes. Now, that's not all that's in here. On the other side of the room, we have all of my funky geekery and geeky stuff. Now this is basically to keep me sane. This actually keeps me happy and does actually help me through the working day. I won't lie, sometimes I just at lunch just have a bit of a play. But it's nice to have the stuff that you love nearby, and that means that you can always find some inspiration or just some relaxation in playing with some of this funky stuff. I have a section of books, Osborne puzzle books. These things were very, very cool when I was a child. I'm pretty sure that they fit in quite nicely with the way that I have always thought, just sort of puzzling out how the world works, and hence being an archaeologist. It's getting a bit dark there, Conan the Barbarian. Stuff here. Incidentally, actually, speaking about being an archaeologist, Conan the Barbarian, the Complete Chronicles, reading that, knowing what I know about the world, about archaeology, it's so difficult because the author, Robert E. Howard, lays out such a pseudo, an alternative version of history that I just can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy it. Oh, here's some computer game archaeology there. I just can't enjoy it because I find myself going, no, that makes no sense. That's not what the Picts are. That's not what the, what do you mean Atlanteans, all this kind of thing. And here we are, back at the desk. So I'll just put you back down again. Okay, so there we go. That's the office. That's basically where I do a lot of my work. I sit and obviously work for the most part, edit and produce things at the desk here. I've got all my research material there, in addition obviously to the internet. Behind me I've got fun, I've got inspiration, I've got geekery, and over there I've got the set where I film most Archaeosoup videos. It's a small but sweet office, and it's actually, Mrs. Soup and I were very lucky to find a house that had a room like this, where I could just completely fill it up with the stuff that basically makes Archaeosoup tick, but also which makes me tick as well. Anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this little scoot around the Archaeosoup Towers office, and well, hopefully you won't sneak into my office again anytime soon. With that in mind, I think you better leave. Frankly, I might have to set the dog on you. You won't enjoy that. As ever, guys, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, you're a fearsome dog, aren't you? Yeah, terrifying. Oh. No, no, you're not gonna chase people away. Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough.